So in that last video, second video in the Bhagavad-gita for this course, I think I tried my best, my paltry best, to interpret what the God Krishna is getting at here with Arjuna, and fundamentally why his answer to Arjuna, about why he should fight the wars. Krishna speaking, the God, is you're not really killing them. You're not really killing them. You're killing their bodies, but that's very different from them. I mean, what a human being is, essentially, is a self, what he's calling a self, which is he's trying to get across what he means here. Again, he says, it is not born, it does not die. Having been, it will never not be. Unborn, enduring, constant, and primordial, it is not killed when the body is killed. Arjuna, when a man knows the self to be indestructible, enduring, unborn, unchanging, how does he kill or cause anyone to kill? As a man discards worn-out clothes to put on new and different ones, so the embodied self discards its worn-out bodies to take on other new ones. Weapons do not cut it, fire does not burn it, waters do not wet it, wind does not wither it. It cannot be cut or burned, it cannot be wet or withered. It is enduring, all-pervasive, fixed, immovable, and timeless. It is called unmanifest, inconceivable, and immutable. It's unchangeable. Since you know that to be so, you should not grieve. So what is he talking about? I mean, what he's talking about is the self. That part of us which does not change. That part of us which is directly connected with something larger than ourselves. The part of us which he says is unmanifest. That is does not show itself to the senses. Again, it cannot be seen. It's what Plato would call the invisible or the unseen. It can only be grasped with the mind. And what he's asking Arjuna to keep in mind is that this is what you should be concentrating on, this enduring, immortal, immutable self that you really are, and that all of these other human beings really are. You can cut that, you can burn that body, that person's body, but you cannot kill that person, what they really are. That is something that cannot die. That's really what gives this unit of the course its title, is that Krishna is telling Arjuna that there's part of you, because there's part of everyone, that cannot die, and really understanding that self, because of what that self connects us to, is the most difficult but most crucial part of every life, because it's that understanding. Again, this is my paltry knowledge of this religion's teachings, but it's gaining that understanding, which is what we call enlightenment, and it's enlightenment that breaks the cycle of reincarnation. Because you don't want to, living in this body, living in nature, Krishna says, is something you have to learn to endure, and to try to separate yourself from as much as possible. And reaching enlightenment, the gift, the reward of that is that you get to not have a body anymore, and to be a soul. I mean, that's what Socrates and Plato were getting at too. Socrates really thought that true knowledge, that the philosophers, really did want to die, in the sense that they wanted to separate from the body, because it's only when the soul is separated from the body with all its distractions and illusions and obstacles to knowledge, it's only when the soul is by itself that it can reach true knowledge of reality. It seems like there's a similar message here. So there's not an argument really for the immortality of the soul. There's a description of that soul, as much as you can describe something which is transcendental. But one of the things it's certainly not is not the kind of thing that can die. So however we live our lives, we should keep that in mind. I mean, that's something that's deeply embedded in many religions, is that there's part of you that is enduring, and that has a much longer sort of fate and career than what happens here with his body on this earth.